Hello and welcome back to Total Extreme Morro. We're the best book wrestling. Episode 2, we're in Ireland. We've got trouble with the roster. We've got trouble with the booking agents. We're in debt. Let's look at the money situation. We're down 4,000. I'm calling it euro. The game says dollars. Fuck that. We're down 4,000 euro here. We've spent 95 on production in the month of March already. We haven't even run a show. We're down 38 without even running a show. Like, what's that coming from? Last month production. Running costs. What's running costs? Nonsense. Show costs. More miscellaneous stuff. Who's spending money on shit? Shane is down in the shop buying cans of Monster for himself. I know it, I can tell. Speaking of Shane, Frankie Vendetta has big morale issues. Why is that, Frankie? Furious at being refused a full pay rise. Furious. He's not even like a little bit annoyed. He's angry. One of the founders of the promotion is coming looking for a pay rise when we're in 4,000 euro debt. Look at him. Look at him there. He wants 180 euro per show. Who do you think we are, eh? Fucking Bank of Ireland or something. Paddy Morro has morale issues. What's Paddy's problem? Angry at being refused a full pay rise. Thanks, Paddy. How much does Paddy want? He wants 230. 230 euro a show. To agent a few matches. Just because I brought him in and made him agent every match for the whole night. All of a sudden he wants a pay rise. Just unbelievable. Well, look, our next big show is Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show, Queen of the Southeast tonight. We're going to crown a women's heavyweight champion for the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. Had trouble getting 8 women, so we've gone with a 4-woman, 1-night tournament. I would have having to fly in talent to make an 8-woman tournament. So essentially we've had to go with 4 because people like Shane are off buying cans of Monster. Tate is off buying makeup and vice box things and neck braces and all sorts. So yeah, like, you know, we're spending money hand over fist here. We're going to have to, as Charlie Haughey once said, tighten up our belts, and that's what we're going to do, even though I've booked loads of people on this show. Let's just get into the show. The tournament starts semi-finals. We got Kat Von K versus Rebecca Resner and Katie Harvey versus Raven Creed. Winners will face in the main event in the final of the Queen of the South tournament. Buzzing for this one. Let's get straight into the show. Start off with Chainsaw Luke Frehill. The loser, the hometown boy, the loser who lost to Tucker in the final of the tournament to become the first ever Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show heavyweight champion. Chainsaw Luke Frehill, just to reiterate, lost that match, sending the home crowd home disappointed at the end of the last show. But you know, there's somebody out there who sees something in Chainsaw Luke Frehill. Look, as the booker, as All Elite Morro, there's something in the guy. But, you know, he had his big chance and he lost. I really wanted him to win as the booker because you want the hometown hero to be the first ever champion. But it wasn't to be. Tucker came down from the north and beat him. However, Edward Stewart Tate is here and he has extended an offer to Luke Frehill to join the Tate estate. He says that Nathan Murphy Forever isn't in the house tonight. I need to try and train myself not to call him Boots. He's working under the Forever gimmick here in Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. He says Nathan Murphy Forever isn't in the house tonight, that Tate got him a lucrative speaking engagement somewhere else. However, Tate is stuck here amongst these awful people, and he wants to provide Chainsaw Luke Frehill with an opportunity to get out of this shithole town and make something better of himself. Frehill just pushes him out of the way, walks to the back after annihilating Chow the Ninja. What a gimmick in the opening match. Tate seems aghast at the idea that Chainsaw Luke Frehill won't be joining him in the Tate estate, but he says he has something up his sleeve. Fantastic segment. Freedom to improvise, he used it to his advantage. You know, a lot of people don't realise that the man behind the neck brace has a storied amateur acting career with some professional work dotted in there as well over the years on stage as a well-known thespian. Maybe that's why he's such twat. Into the semi-final, Raven Creed goes over Katie Harvey in an excellent match. Raven Creed by pinfall. Two great performances from both of them. A not so great match. Rebecca Resner was really off her game. She hasn't worked in a long time, judging by both in-game, but also I think I checked up her cage match and she might be retired, to be perfectly honest, but she was active in the game. Kat Von K goes over Rebecca Resner in 6 minutes by pinfall. Jay the Kingslayer is in for a night. Look at this picture of Jay. I need to get a new picture. He looks about 14 in there. Oh, God. Excellent match. Jay's gimmick gets an initial rating of awful in front of our crowd. Might gives a large penalty to charisma during matches and angles. That's not good. We'll give that a tweak before we use Jay. I can't stop laughing at the picture. By the way, we have 44 people here in Pegasus nightclub. Our fan base is growing. It's about the same amount of people now as listen to our weekly podcast, and it's several times more than tune into All Elite Morro on a Monday night live 7:30 at the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show live stream. Tucker goes over in just under 12 minutes by pinfall with a super kick following interference from Edward Stewart Tate. Is this the ace he has up his sleeve? Is Edward Stewart Tate the one paying for Tucker to drive all the way down from Belfast to Kilkenny? Because it's certainly not coming out of my pocket. Is it coming out of Tate's pocket? Defense number 2 for some reason. I think there's a glitch there. It's really defense number 1. He won the title and now defended it. For Tucker, fantastic performance. And after the match, Tate and Tucker attacked the Kingslayer Jay, and luckily enough, Frankie Vendetta is actually in the house, despite the fact I wasn't going to book him tonight. I didn't book him. He came out of the crowd here to help Jay in street clothes. He's not in his wrestling attire. I didn't book him because he was looking for too much fucking money. So he better not be getting paid for this. He did this of his own volition. Into the main event to crown the Queen of the Southeast, the first ever Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show Women's Heavyweight Champion. Very good match. Raven Creed goes over in just under 10 minutes via pinfall, and she becomes the first ever Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show Women's Heavyweight Champion. And to be perfectly honest, I couldn't think of someone better to represent the company at this stage of our growth. And that's the main event for tonight. Great show overall. 35. Not our best show ever, but I think one of our most consistently good shows, I would say. Let's address the locker room. Raven Creed, Kat Von K, well done to the two of ye. Not giving Tate any praise, that's for sure, despite the fact he's weaving his narrative muscle throughout our shows at the moment. How much did we lose? 760. We only paid 360 on workers. That's what I'm talking about. Keeping that cost low. Show cost 333. Miscellaneous again. Shen wasn't even here. He shouldn't have had access to the kitty for his cans of Monster. Maybe that's all my coffee costs. Oh, God. This miscellaneous is killing us. If we hadn't spent 33 on miscellaneous, we'd be under minus 5,000 right now. Popularity, we're up to a 4. We're up to a 4. Growth, baby. This is capitalism at its finest. Untethered growth for the wrestling fan, wrestling show. Great to have Kingslayer Jay in the house. I'm going to have to get it up to the picture. Tucker dominating. Raven Creed, first champion. Edward Stewart Tate. We had Chow back. Always good to have a ninja on your show. So yeah, and win for Chainsaw Luke Frehill, washing off the stink of that major loss. But his overall win-loss record is obviously excellent. And it probably should be noted that there was 2 winning streaks snapped in the men's tournament last month. That being Chainsaw Luke Frehill's in the main event and Frankie Vendetta's in the semi-final. Tucker snapped both streaks. He is the streak killer at the moment, and it looks like Tucker has joined forces with the twat that is Edward Stewart Twat and joined the Twat estate. So yeah, lots going on. We're going to have another show in a month. Going to look for a viable challenger for Tucker. We're going to see what the fallout is between Chainsaw Luke Frehill and Edward Stewart Tate. Nathan Murphy Forever will be available for next month's event. And also we've seen there that Frankie Vendetta is getting all up in the business of the Tate estate. So the Tate estate has become stronger. It's got Tucker. It has the world champion, or not world champion. It's the Kilkenny champion, really. We haven't been outside Kilkenny yet. ROH contract offer. Scorpio Skies rejecting contracts. Can't afford you. Can't afford you either, Brian Kedge. Can't afford anybody. Finance. The only thing is, in fairness now, our sponsorship has grown. It's significant growth month on month. Tripled the first month. 0.5 extra the second month. Almost doubled again. Yeah, I think we're probably going to make close to 100 this month on our sponsorship. But yeah, another show coming up next month. We're back in Pegasus. We're not charging yet. I think we're going to start charging for tickets when we get to popularity of about 5, perhaps, maybe 6 or 7. But certainly by the end of today's episode, I'm hoping that we have money coming back in. Not necessarily will we be breaking even on a month. We're going to have to make 1,000 to break even. And that'll have to be, realistically, to make 1,000, if we look at the ticket pricing again, of €8 tickets to make 1,000, we'd have to sell well over 100 tickets. That's not going to happen. So we're a long way away from that. But what we really want is to get the sponsorship up. If sponsorship can keep going up at the current rate, start bringing in a few €100 a month, by about 8 or 9 months in, we're in month 5, by about 10 months in, we should be starting to hit break-even point monthly. And then, once you break even, you're very close to profit. You're €1 away from profit. Okay, let's get to the next monthly show. I'm going to bring in, have a look at some talent. Let's see our roster now. I let some contracts lapse, handshake deals and stuff. So, we're going to keep it lean and tight at the minute. I'm going to try out lots of different talent from around the country. Looking at bringing in... Oh, that looks like the OTT roster. Did Carlos Colon move to Ireland? Carlos Colon has moved to Ireland. Carlito has moved to Ireland because he's working in OTT. That is fantastic. I want to bring in Canary Kid. Look at this guy in his yellow jacket. Decent skills, not a whole lot of popularity. Cheap, that's the most important thing. And I want to see if I can get Kev Dunphy out of retirement. It will be possible to bring Kev out of retirement. I'd love to see him in the ring one more time. Who else? Who else would I like to bring in? Rocky Star does look badass. I was looking at him earlier. I've never seen him work. But he looks badass. Ballymun Bruiser, a legend of the game. Like Maxer's. See, I have an idea for him later on. I don't want to use it quite yet. Anyway, I'm rambling now. We're back with Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show's Rumble on the River Nore. For those of you who are crap at geography, River Nore is the main river going through the city of Kilkenny. I'm not going to mention its tributaries or anything, but you know, the River Nore flows through Kilkenny. It's quite near Pegasus and John Street. So if we're going to be doing the Rumble on the River Nore, we're going to Pegasus. Select this venue. We're into Pegasus. Surprise in the booking team. One, Frankie Vendetta, aka Shaz Beef, aka Shane the Bruiser, aka Shane O'Keefe, was pissing and moaning about money. So I said, this guy fancies himself as a booker. I'm going to put him on my booking committee. And lo and behold, his anger dissipated. He's back on board with the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. He's a happy little chappy again. So we're going to get a character idea, likely to succeed. We'll deploy that. I have someone who I wanted to deploy it to. And Frankie Vendetta brought pizza for the entire locker room, which made everyone happy. Good man, Frankie. Gallicini entertained the locker room by organising a poker tournament. Good man, Gallicini. We've brought back Paddy Morro into the fold. I said, look, Paddy, we're going to pay you. We're not just paying you to do a bit of road agenting. We're going to pay you. You're going to run training drills before the shows for the workers. So he did drills to work on basics and safety. Good man, Paddy. Finally earning that little bit of extra pay that you asked for. We're not going to use that because I'm saving the Inspire. You can only use the Inspire once every 60 days, I want to say. Kingslayer J has cooled momentum after his loss at the last show. So we're going to use that creative idea that me and Shane came up with in our inspired booking meeting. We're going to deploy it to Jay. It was a success. He now has warm momentum. He's not on tonight's show anyway. So let's lay out the show. We're actually doing way more here. We're going to spend more money. I don't care. CBL coming in for the night, taking on a Tucker for the heavyweight title. Edward Tate's going to do a promo before that. That's after the Nathan Murphy Forever and Gallicini match. I need to see who's road agenting this stuff. Yeah. Correct. Keep forgetting to check the road agent. Split duties between the boys. We're adding Wild Brawl to Frankie's match. That's his specialty. We've got to check who's road agenting again. Yep. Big Bad Dirty Nicky and John McCann. That should be a banger. Luke is getting his first promo. Our Top Face is getting his first promo in the company. Now, where are we? 72 minutes, 89%, not penalised. Let's just check the booking analysis. Everything looks good. Yeah, right, banger show. Let's get into it. Just double check that, yeah. How much we're spending? 630. Oh, that's a lot. That's too much. We're not taking anyone off the show now, though. No. Right, show's beginning. Chainsaw Luke Frehill and Nate Maddox have a very good match. We brought Nate Maddox in for the night. Very experienced guy down from the north. Just don't want Tucker driving down on his own, to be perfectly honest. So we filled the car. Tucker, John McCann, Nate Maddox, 3 boys into the car. They can come down from the north. They're all coming the same direction. Decent performances. Yeah, decent opener. Luke does a great promo. I was worried about Luke's promo skills, but he does a fantastic promo here. And this is aimed at Edward Stewart Tate, Nathan Murphy for forever, and Tucker. Luke calls out Nathan and Edward Stewart Tate for attacking him after his semi-final match. And ensuring he wasn't going to be the first wrestling fan at a wrestling show heavyweight champion, and that Tucker's victory is an empty victory. It's meaningless. He's nothing but a paper champion, and Luke Frehill is coming for Tucker's title. Bit of alliteration. Big Bad Dirty Nicky and John McCann have a decent match. Left Frankie on as a road agent. Thought I checked all that. Frankie's just not a very good road agent. Sorry, Chaz. Frankie Vendetta then goes out and has a good brawl with John Bernard. Brought John in for the night. I think he primarily is in Hard Knocks or Fight Factory. I can't remember. Sorry, John. Frankie beats him. Submission, Manimal Claw, 7 minutes. Raven Creed sustained a broken finger, so that impacted her performance. But decent match overall. Raven Creed versus Casey Owens. Brought Casey down from the north. Full car, 4 people, all coming from the north. Save on petrol, lads, because you ain't getting paid a whole lot, let's be honest. We've 44 people here in Pegasus nightclub again. I think that is tied for our highest attendance. Raven with a broken finger, not ideal. A month off should fix it. And Nate Murphy beats Galaccini by pinfall. And then Edward Stewart Tate cuts a promo after the match, and it is his life mission to ensure that Luke Frehill, the Chainsaw himself, will never, ever hold the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show heavyweight title. And then Tucker, best match in promotion history at this stage. Tucker makes a defense number 3 of the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show heavyweight title. He beats CBL in 11.5 minutes by super kick following interference from Edward Stewart Tate. The Tate Estate have this title on lockdown, but we know that Luke Frehill is coming for them. So that's a defence for Tucker, a defence for Raven Creed, wins on the card for Frankie Vendetta, for Big Bad Dirty Nicky, for the Chainsaw, for Boots Murphy. Not Boots, I'm just going to keep calling you Boots. Sorry, Boots. Very good show overall. Let's see what it does. We're going to praise Tucker. And you know what? We're going to praise Edward Stewart Tate. He has been weaving the narrative together week or month on month for us. So he seems pleased. Very rare to see that man pleased. Injury review, 26 days. Our next show is in 28 days. So that's fine. She's not going to be impacted by injury in that show. Financial report. We lost 1,000. We spent 630 on workers. And that's just on pay. No bonuses, no perks. We didn't pay out anything on drug testing. Nobody got another miscellaneous 47. Shane and his cans of Monster are taking the piss. Made 8 on merchandise. Popularity recap didn't go up. Hard stuck at 4. I think I'm going to start charging at 5. Just see. Charge for a few shows at 5. See where we're up to. I want to do something as well. I'm going to show something here. We're going to tease this out after the loading screen. I'm just going to cut out the loading screen. And through the power of editing, here I am. Didn't miss a beat. Kat Von K has one, Anita Vaughan has one, Katie Harvey has one. That's okay. Right, we're going to go into merchandise. We're going to see how much it's going to cost us for rapid growth. 125 per week to give us 25% progress. So that means in a month, our merchandise would increase. Now we have to make back 500. Be a lot of shows making back 500. Be a lot of shows making back 500. What if we go normal? 50 a week for 12.5%. So in 8 weeks, that would cost us 400. It's only 100 in the difference. We're going to upgrade rapidly. Yeah. See how much money we bring in on the financial update. We're down 6,000 in total. We spent 1,160 this month. We've brought in so far 78. Our financial estimates say we're starting to make sponsorship now of about 136 a month. So the sponsorship is growing exponentially. Time for the next show. Right, we have the Marble City Meltdown tonight because we're in the Marble City of Kilkenny. I'm going to dispense with the Kilkenny themed names once we start getting enough of an audience to run outside Kilkenny. Have we made the decision on ticket prices? We're going for free for one more event. This is the last of our free events. We have spent a lot of money upgrading our merchandise, so we should make more than 8 on this show. We're estimated to get 136 this month in sponsorship. So we're going to speculate to accumulate here. Something I forgot about actually at the very start, like I'm halfway through the second episode, I forgot to show that I've added the School of Irish Wrestling, owned by Joe Cabra. We added Fight Factory, Katie Harvey's there, and Relentless, Damien Corvin. And these will produce new Irish talent, roughly at their current size, about 2 per year. So we'll still have more Irish talent entering the game as time goes on. Now, they mightn't produce any in the first year. Could produce 4 the second year, or 3 the second, 3 the third, whatever. It's kind of a bit sporadic, and it's roughly 2 students. So it's not necessarily 2 students, but we have banger card for the Marble City Meltdown tonight. We're 6,700 debt after our merchandise upgrade, and we are currently going to spend another 2,500 upgrading to level 3. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just think, fuck it, spend the money. I think we have like a year and a half or something, about 18 months. If we don't have to be out of debt in 18 months. I think we have to be making money. Like we have to have months. We have to be moving towards not being in debt at the 18-month mark. What are we about? I'm sure we can tell by events. Many events have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 7 months in. So we've got 11 more months to start bringing in some cash. Let's get into, what's it called? WFW's Marble City Meltdown. We got Big Bad Dirty Nicky versus Young Dara opening the show. Well, E S Tate has come to me, asked for some promo time. I said, look, Tate, I don't like you, but you're doing well on the promos. You can have 5 minutes. We've got Frankie Vendetta versus the debuting Duncan Disorderly. We've booked that as a wild brawl. Raven Creed defends against Anita Vaughan. Just make sure I added the title to that. I did. All good. Chainsaw Luke Frehill versus Nathan Murphy forever. Chainsaw said he has some shit to get off his chest. And we're bringing in Michael May the current, he's held one of the titles in Rebel Championship Wrestling, tremendous wrestler, versus Tucker for our heavyweight championship. The reason being is this is on in the Pegasus nightclub from Kilkenny once again. I noticed though that Rebel County Wrestling have been running shows in Pegasus nightclub. They've entered our territory. So what have I done? I called up Michael May. I said, Michael, I'm going to give you $40. You come up and you put over our champion, just so the people in our venue know who the big dogs in Kilkenny are. Can't have Rebel County Wrestling coming up here, running our venues, making their champion look better than ours. So we're going to put them in their place on this show. I'm not even going to have Edward E S Tate or Nathan Murphy Forever interfere. Tucker's getting a clean win. Okay, so Big Bad Dirty Nicky goes over Young Dara. Decent match. Young Dara was off his game. As you can see there from his 16 performance. Come on now, Dara. Get your shit together. Edward E S Tate has put a €10,000 bounty on Luke Frehill's head. This is in response to Frehill saying he's coming for the Tate estate and the title on our previous show. A €10,000 bounty. To put that into context, I'm getting my calculator out. Most of these guys get paid $30 a night. 10,000 divided by 30. They would have to work 333 and a third dates in order to make up that $10,000. That is a tremendous sum of money. We've got 45 people here. That's an increase. We were hard stuck on 44. Crowd is white hot after Tate's superb promo, putting €10,000 bounty on Luke Frehill's head. He said the first person with the opportunity to cash in that bounty is the Tate Estate's very own Nathan Murphy Forever, here later tonight. Frankie Vendetta and Duncan Disorderly have a very good match. Frankie was off his game. Is he still sad? No, he's not still sad. Frankie needs to get out on the fucking road, build up that stamina though, you know what I mean? Because I said, lads, go out there, have a wild brawl, go all out for 6-7 minutes, couldn't even, he was tired. 7 minutes, Frankie. Hit the pavement, bro. Get running. Good match though. 39 is a very good match. Raven Creed, both of them off their game here. Raven just back from injury. Defense number 2 of the women's title. Still a decent match. Good performance from Raven. Mediocre performance from Anita. Her first match in a long time, I believe. Raven wins by submission. Defense number 2. Chainsaw Luke Frehill has beaten Nathan Murphy Forever. Chainsaw was off his game here. Let's jump in and see why this might be. It's experience and inconsistency. They're at that level of their career where that is a danger, but he's got good momentum and high morale. Nathan Murphy got a bonus for his managerial help. Segment got a bonus for the road agent work with Paddy Morro. Paddy ran a training session before the show and he's agenting some of our top matches. We're going to pay that man what he claims he's worth. He's going to earn it. Chainsaw on the mic, he makes a challenge for the next show. The challenge is as follows. He said if Edward E S Tate can go back to All Elite Morro and look for matches, look for my time, Chainsaw can do the same. He's made a challenge. The first ever tag match to be held in Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show Pro Wrestling will be Nathan Murphy Forever and Tucker versus Chainsaw Luke Frehill and Jay the Kingslayer. Jay was beaten down after he faced Tucker. He was cheated. Luke Frehill was beaten down before he faced Tucker, and he was cheated. So Luke and Jay the Kingslayer will be taking on the Tate Estate in the main event of next month's event. And not only that, Luke Frehill went to All Elite Morro and requested if the team of Luke and Jay win on the following event, Jay or Luke will get a 10-minute time limit match versus none other than Edward Stuart Tate. I'm sure Tate is apoplectic in the back. So we main event next month. We've Luke and Jay versus the Tate Estate. If Luke and Jay win, Tate gets a 10-minute time limit match with Edward Stuart Tate. Look, he asked for just a normal match. I said, look, Luke, I'll give you a 10-minute time limit. You got 10 minutes in the ring if you win the tag match. On to tonight's main event. Fantastic match. Both of them were brilliant here. Tucker with a 41, Michael May with a 39. Tucker and Tate don't have great chemistry. We're going to just leave them together for now because they might build a bit of chemistry. But yeah, still an excellent match. Overall, very good show. One of our top shows so far. Everything was a minimum good, and some things were great, really. Luke's promo was brilliant. Tate's promo was exceptional. Main event was very good, and all the rest of the matches were decent. Let's see, we're going to address the locker room. I'm going to say, Edward Stuart Tate, thank you, and cannot wait. I hope you end up in the ring with Luke Frehill. And I'm going to thank Michael May, because he came in and he did the honours. He put over our top champion clean as a whistle. Thanks for that, Michael. We gave him a one night only deal. We'd love to have him back. So just hit me up whenever you're around. Michael Massey, please. Financial report. We made 20 on merchandise. Now we lost 1,000. And we're in basically 8,000 debt, but a chunk of that is from the upgrades to our merchandise, but we made 20. That's more than double. Workers' costs, we spent 640 on workers. We did have a lot of workers on the show. Miscellaneous 26. We brought the miscellaneous down. I wonder, is that Shane using less cans of Monster? Well, maybe with the stamina issues, he needs more fucking cans of Monster. And we've increased in popularity, so we're up to 5. That means our next show, we will be charging ticket prices for. Also, we have a bumper main event. We have Jay the Kingslayer, Luke Frehill versus Tucker. We booked this show a little bit differently. We're going way longer in our main event. Chance on Jay are getting 15 minutes versus Boots and Tucker. We've got Raven Creed versus Katie Harvey. We've got Galacini versus Chow. And Big Bad Dirty Nikki in a huge match against Frankie Vendetta. Both of these guys on win streaks at the moment. That should be a good one. It's going 62 minutes. And we have a couple of angles in there as well. But there's something that we need to point out. Where is he? Paddy Morro. Annoyed. Angry at being refused a full pay rise. Pleased at being given a pay rise. He's still angry from the December one, despite the fact he held me up for more money a week ago. Guy's on $220 per show. $220 per show. Do a bit of training and do a bit of road agenting. Paddy, we're going to have to work him to the bone. You better be doing at least 3 to 5 agent jobs. He's going to agent this opening match as well. He's already done the training pre-show. But we need to get our money's worth. This guy's just constantly holding me up for money. Oh, the best road agent in Ireland. The best trainer in Ireland. Fucking getting paid, so he is. And because of that, now this is a direct message to the fans, we've had to charge €8 per ticket for the show as a result of Paddy Morrow's greed. That's all I can call it. The show's called St. Canis's Clash. St. Canis, patron St. Kilkenny, wanted something to rhyme with, or to not rhyme, but have a bit of alliteration with clash. So I went with Canis's Clash. Sounds nice. As I said, as we grow and we move outside of Pegasus nightclub in Kilkenny, I'm going to change a lot of these names to non-Kilkenny type names. But yeah, we've just been held up for more cash by Paddy Morrow. Thanks, Paddy. Let's get into the show. Big Bad Dirty Nicky versus Frankie Vendetta. Open the show. I'm expecting big things. Yes. Sensational match from the two boys. Well done. Both had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Big Bad Dirty Nicky defeats Frankie Vendetta in just under 12 minutes by pinfall. Big loss for Frankie, but a huge win for Big Bad Dirty Nicky. We've 39 people. That's only a drop of 5 from the previous show, and we're charging. So it was a good idea, I think, to start charging. Galaccini beats the Ninja Chow. Grand match. These two guys are improving. Their first matches, they were in the teens. They're rating, so they're getting better. Still a long way to go. We get a backstage segment between Frankie and Edward Stewart Tate. Edward Stewart Tate is saying that this company was essentially set up for Frankie Vendetta to be a star vehicle for Frankie Vendetta, but Frankie's just out there now. He's lost the 2 biggest matches he's had. He's lost to Tucker in the semi-final of the Heavyweight Championship tournament. He's lost to Big Bad Dirty Nicky. He's not getting the respect he deserves, but there's something he can do to earn 10k. 10,000 euro, and put himself in the title picture and get himself some self-respect. Frankie brushes him off, tells Tate that he doesn't need his stinking money, that the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show is Frankie Vendetta, and he will have his day on top of the card. Tate leaves him with a parting shot though. If people thought you were good, Luke Frehill would have picked you as his partner for the main event. Had to pause the recording to have a coughing fit. My God. Whew. If people thought you're any good, Frehill would have picked you as his tag team partner for the main event, but he didn't. He picked the Kingslayer J. Raven Creed beats Katie Harvey in a fantastic match. Defense number 3 of the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show's women's heavyweight title. 2 superb performances. We might have to bring Katie Harvey back. We're going to let her go though for a little while. She's got other jobs going on. She's got plenty of matches. Raven Creed on a major run. We're into the main event. Chainsaw Luke Frehill, Kingslayer J versus Tucker and Nathan Murphy forever. The Tate estate. If Frehill and J win, Frehill gets 10 minutes in the ring with Frankie Vendetta. No, not Frankie Vendetta. Edward Stewart Tate. Decent match, not sensational. Thought it'd be better. Nathan Murphy forever and Tucker aren't great. Their timing is all over the place. That seems to be very bad, actually. Both of their performances are quite lower than usual. Chainsaw was exceptional. Well, not exceptional, but very good. Kingslayer J was decent. Edward Stewart Tate did some good work at ringside. And Tucker and Tate are still an awkward pairing, but it's only awkward. It's not. There's a one less than that. So I'm hoping a little bit of time, their chemistry will get better. Luke Frehill pins Nathan Murphy forever with a Western Lariat in just under 15 minutes. Decent main event, not sensational. Luke goes on then to cut a promo on Edward Stewart Tate, saying that he's spoken to All Elite Morro. Not only does Luke get Tate for 10 minutes 1v1 in the main event on next month's show, the Tate estate are banned from ringside. If Tucker interferes, he'll be stripped of the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show heavyweight title, and if Nathan Murphy forever interferes, he will face a 6-month ban from the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. Tate is on his own. Decent show overall. Increase your popularity in one region. That's Ireland. We're going to go Raven Creed and Katie Harvey. They put on one of the best matches on the show. Could go Frankie and Big Bad Dirty Nicky either, but would like Katie to be leaving happy, so she'll more likely come back if we offer her more dates. Financial report. Let's see. We're down 951. We made 156 on ticket sales. 18 on merchandise. Merchandise a little bit lower only by 2 because we had slightly less fans there. We're down 10k overall, partially because Paddy Morro is just taking up nearly all our budget. Might just not bring him to the next show. Like that would have only been 500 if we just used Paul Tracy. But I do want Paddy there for the training aspect because it makes workers' basics, safety and selling better at a quicker rate. But I don't know if it's worth 220 just yet. Other show costs, venue hire 200, overall 100. Miscellaneous is coming down. Frankie's easing off on the Kansas Monster. We're gone up to popularity of 6. Okay, a successful night. Another show next month with that massive main event of Edward Stewart Tate versus the one, the only Chainsaw Luke Frehill, the Kilkenny Von Erich. We've gone with the title Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show, Frehill versus Tate. That's how big this match is. We're trying to sell tickets. Possibly our 2 biggest stars. I hate to say it, but our 2 biggest stars. We've put them on the poster. We put the name out there. It's Frehill versus Tate. That is the name of the show. We've also got Rebecca Resner versus Raven Creed for the women's title. Tucker versus Kev Dunphy, out retirement for the men's title. A Frankie Vendetta promo. Young Dara versus Frankie Vendetta, face versus face. And Big Bad Dirty Nicky on a massive winning streak, opening the show versus Kuro, who has relocated to Ireland due to his the amount of dates he's getting with OTT. So we're going to use him. Let's get into the show. Nicky's fantastic once again. This guy's on a heater. Serious run. Kuro's gimmick didn't get over. I'm sure that didn't help his performance. Not a great performance anyway. Expected more. Frankie is sensational here in this match with Young Dara, trying to get Young Dara plenty of experience. Look, Young Dara's on a losing streak. He's getting bet up a stick. But he's lovable to our fan base. But he's on a losing streak and he's getting bet up a stick. Good win for Frankie. Frankie grabs the mic after the match. Superb here, working without a script. Had the crowd in the palm of his hand the entire time. 56 segment rating, unbelievable. This is aimed at Tate, trying to play mind games with him. He's not going to listen. He knows that he's a star of the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. He's the man that built this brand no matter what Tate says. This has been the brainchild of Frankie Vendetta, and he's bringing violence, his own particular brand of violence, to next month's show. We've got 40 people in the Pegasus nightclub for this. Kev Dunphy was off his game. Look, it's his first match in ages. But Tucker makes defense number 4, technically, of the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show heavyweight title. Good performance from Tucker. Considering it was Kev Dunphy's first match in a long time, not a bad performance. Raven Creed, sensational here. Rebecca Resner, not good. Another win for Raven Creed. She'll be facing Kat Von K. Technically, it's Kat Von K's last contracted match next month, so we'll see how that turns out. Defense number 4 of the heavyweight title for Raven Creed. Promo from Edward Stewart Tate. He's told his boys to stay in the back, not to risk suspension or losing your title. That he's got this. He has full belief in his ability to beat Chainsaw Luke Frehill. Chainsaw Luke Frehill's a nobody. Tate is a somebody. He hints at a surprise for Frehill in the future. The build up to this match was really characterized by we had one show a month, so this was built through a lot of Twitter, Instagram, TikTok segments of Edward Stewart Tate in training, comedic segments like Vince training for the 99 Royal Rumble. But yet we've seen loads of stuff of Tate training over the last month. They have a pretty good match. And they have great chemistry together. That's a pretty good match. I was expecting a lot worse, to be perfectly honest. Frehill is good. E S Tate was better than a lot of wrestlers we've hired. What's the dirt sheet saying? Paddy Morrow's road agent work would want to be fucking good, since he's charging us a fucking small fortune. Tate got loads of bonuses for charisma, high morale, amazing heel. We got the worker chemistry bonus. Luke got bonuses for momentum and high morale. Sensational. I honestly thought this was going to be a disaster of a match. It's Keane Noonan, the sculpted one, has attacked and has beaten down Chainsaw Luke Frehill. He's here to claim the €10,000 bounty. Former friends, former tag partners, these guys have travelled Europe together. Keane Noonan has arrived and he has attacked his old friend Chainsaw Luke Frehill. He wants the 10k. He's going to take out Luke Frehill by any means necessary. A shocking end to a pretty damn good show. Not our best show ever. Very good show. Address the locker room. Eddie, well done. You shocked me. I'm going to praise Paddy because he's been a whiny little bitch. Paddy, scene, please. Let's see if it has. We lost 1,000. We spent 900 on workers. Spent 900. Oh, that's a lot of money to be spending. We took in 160 on tickets. Took in 18. We're down 12,500. This company is bleeding money. We have increased in popularity. Part of my worry with going up in ticket prices that our popularity growth would slow. It hasn't seemed to happen. At least we've some money coming back in. We spent too much on that show. We've got a challenger for Tucker for the next event. We've got a good challenger for Tucker too. And we've got Keane Noonan versus Chainsaw Luke Frehill. I'm going to have to leave. Like the likes of Tate, Frankie, Paddy Morro, they're all some of our higher paid. It's a bit shit. There's Tate and Frankie, due to their history of doing colour commentary, game has them listed. I listed them in game as colour commentators, which means, like referees, they demand a higher price, because it would be viewed within game that they work a full show while wrestlers only work one match. That's why they keep looking for a higher nightly rate. So I'm paying Frankie, I'm paying Tate, and I'm paying Paddy Morrow exorbitant fees. So it might be a case, Frankie had his win over Young Dara on tonight's show. It might be a case where I have to leave one of those three off each show. Maybe Tate is injured for the next show. Although, storyline, I want him there for the Keane Noonan Frehill match. Maybe I manufacture some beef with Frankie and tell him to stay at home for a night. Stop spending all the money on Monster. Two interesting things have happened in the game world as well. One of them being Matthew Bullet Smith has left OTT. And he's fantastic. He hasn't worked OTT since April. Something went down in April. Left the company. Interesting. The other one is we've gone above Hard Knocks and Northern Ireland Pro Wrestling. But also the other piece of news is John Moxley has not been offered a contract renewal with AEW. That would never happen in real life. But if we go to the news tab, where's the news tab? Recent news. Gone from New Japan. And there was news about him not being offered demoted from Inner Circle, gone from New Japan, and not being offered a new contract with AEW. So, he might be available for us. Looking for $1,800 a show. I don't think we can afford you, Mox. But yeah, big show next month. Be the last show of this episode. There's Curo and Kev Dunphy are gone. We've re-signed Big Bad Dirty Nicky. We've extended the deal on him. We're coming back for Noonan versus Frehill. We're here for the last show of today's episode. A banger show. We're bringing in international talent for the first time to Pegasus nightclub, Kilkenny. As Jerby said last week, he'd have to be paid to go to Pegasus nightclub. But I guarantee you, Jer, you'd be here paying for this main event. Tucker versus Michael Oku. The grudge match. Luke Frehill versus Keane Noonan, who's here to claim the €10,000 bounty from E S Tate. We got Raven Creed versus Kat Von K for the women's title. We've got Big Bad Dirty Nicky versus international talent Cara Noir. And we've got John McGann versus Frankie Vendetta. The Grappler versus the Da Vinci of Violence in the opener. A loaded show. International talent. I'm going to see how much it cost me after the show to fly them in. We'll make a decision then on future international talent. But this is an absolute loaded show. Flying in Cara Noir and Michael Oku. Michael Oku, truly one of the best independent wrestlers in the world, I think, over the last couple of years, it's fair to say. And the cream of the crop of Irish talent on this show. This is a banger. I'm wearing my Frankie Vendetta hat. In the opener, Frankie Vendetta loses by pinfall to John McCann in a cracker of an opener. Two unbelievable performances from the boys, but Frankie Vendetta, when he goes up against the elite, Frankie cuts a promo lamenting his performances against the cream of the crop. He's beating the young guys. He's losing to the guys around the top of the card. He's lost now to Big Bad Dirty Nicky. He's lost to John McCann. He's lost to Tucker. He can beat everyone else, but he can't make the breakthrough. And it's time for him to figure some shit out. He's not sure about what he's doing, but he has to go and figure some shit out. There has to be another path forward for him. He's in his late 30s. It's not getting any easier. He wants to know what his path to the top is. This show is called All Elite Morro's Birthday Bash 2026. It's on the weekend of my birthday. And if I was booking a real wrestling promotion, I would 100% put a show on my birthday weekend and call it something to do with my birthday. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? My birthday party, which in 2026 will be my 39th birthday, is being held at a wrestling show that I'm booking. What more could I ask for? Frankie talks about going away for a little bit of time. He just needs to sort his head out. He needs to figure out who he is, what he represents, and what his path to the top is. He wanted to be the king of Kilkenny wrestling, but it's just not working out. Big Bad Dirty Nicky and Cara Noir have another banger. This is trending to be our best show yet. Cara Noir's mysterious occult gimmick seems to be just fine. I've got a rating of very good, in fact. Two great performances. Big Bad Dirty Nicky's putting on fantastic performances. He's over with the Kilkenny crowd in Pegasus nightclub. Edward Stewart Tate cuts an amazing promo talking about how Luke Frehill has never, ever getting to Tucker or the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show Heavyweight Championship. Said Keane Noonan is going to put an end to Luke Frehill tonight, and if he doesn't, Tate's got plenty more options up his sleeve. Raven Creed and Kat Von K have the best match of their series. Raven Creed has just put on one of the best performances, I think, in company history. She makes defence number 5 of the women's heavyweight title, wins in 7.5 minutes by submission. Next up we got Frehill and Keane Noonan, former friends, former partners. Very good match. They didn't click and it made for an awkward bout. I don't believe that for a second. Game you done fucked up. It was a fine match. Should have been better. I think that's a disgrace from the game to not give these at least very good chemistry. But Chainsaw Luke Frehill beats Keane Noonan in just under 15 minutes with a Western Lariat. Got a decent crowd reaction. That is the most important thing. And then we have the main event between Tucker and Oku. Wait. What the fuck? Frankie Vendetta has attacked and annihilated Chainsaw Luke Frehill. He's dropped him on his head. Dropped him on his head with a pile driver. Frankie, you dastardly motherfucker. How dare you do this to Kilkenny? This is the Kilkenny Von Erich right here. You know what, Frankie? Fuck you, Frankie. We don't know why. Is he with the Tate estate? We don't know. Is he claiming the 10k bounty? We don't know. But Frankie Vendetta has annihilated Luke Frehill with a series of pile drivers. He's gone heel. Frankie's just let the whole county of Kilkenny down. Main event, unbelievable match, but to be honest, Michael Oku was sensational. Tucker was sensational. These two had an unbelievable match. Tucker wins at 11 minutes with a super kick. Defense number 5 of the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show heavyweight title. If Oku puts in performances like that, we'd love to bring him back. I'm not going to be doing much microphone angles with him, but howsoever. Fantastic performance from Oku. Tucker dominant as champion. He's reigned supreme for this entire episode. But I feel like I'm just left with just a sour taste in my mouth. Probably our best show in company history. Frankie. How dare you, Frankie? Frankie, you're not getting any encouragement out of me anyway. I'll tell you that for a fact. Who's getting encouraged? Tucker and Raven. They were sensational here. I'm glad you're pleased, Tucker. I'm glad you're pleased, Raven. Financial report. We lost 1,000 on the show. Let's have a look at bonuses and perks. I believe that's travel. I believe the perks falls into travel. So it costs us $50 per worker. So that means I got Oku for 90 and Cara Noir for 80. Not too bad. It's not something I'm going to do regularly, fly people in, but it's my birthday weekend. And for the sake of 100, we only spent 810 on workers. That's less than previously. Show costs were 380. Miscellaneous has gone up there again, 348. Miscellaneous is 48. There's no need for that. No need for that. Marketing 75. We lost 1,000 on the show. Ticket sales 160. Merchandise 36. Popularity has gone up. I'm just utterly in shock after Frankie attacking the Kilkenny Von Erich, Luke Frehill. I guess you're going to have to tune in next week to Total Extreme Morro. We're the best book wrestling to see what the fallout for Frankie, Luke Frehill are and the Tate estate. What does this mean for Frankie? What's this mean for Luke? What kind of condition is his neck going to be in? He was surely closing in on a title shot against Tucker. He's been on a serious win streak. He beat Keane Noonan here again. But Tate always has something up his slimy sleeves. Same time next week, Total Extreme Morro. We're the best book wrestling on the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show, creating the greatest professional wrestling company in the history of Ireland, in the history of Europe, in the history of the world.